Okay, go to PuDI and enter the IP address, IPv4 or IPv6 address of your device. I will use IPv4. Username Ubuntu and your password. Okay, very good. IP address. And now you can see your interfaces. Look back, Ethernet 0, the integrated interface, the wireless LAN interface, and Ethernet 1. This is the LAN USB interface, the new interface. Okay, Ethernet 0 will be the connection to Internet already configured with a static IPv4 address and a static IPv6 address. Okay, you need to configure Ethernet 1 and will be used for the local area network, the new subnet or new network. Okay, so set an IP address, IPv4 address for this interface. And do this on the following file. I will use Beam to edit the file, netplan. And before to edit, you can list the contents of netplan directory and edit this file. Okay, this is my backup, but this is the file 50 cloud init, and edit this file. So use sudo for root privileges, use Beam editor, netplan, and use 50 dash, press tab to complete the name, and this is the name, cloud init dot YAML, enter. Okay, this is Ethernet 0, IPv4 address, IPv6 address of Ethernet 0, the connection to Internet, also called the WAN interface. Okay, the gateway, IPv6 gateway, DNS servers, and you need to add the Ethernet 1. Okay, and press I key to insert I. You are on insert mode. Then before version 2, add Ethernet 1. Okay, enter. Be careful with tabulation and alignment. Okay, I will use Ethernet 1. The new interface, the LAN USB, the addresses. Create a new subnet. I will use this subnet 172.16.100. I will use the first IP on the subnet. It will be 1 prefix 24. Okay, that is enough for me. And no gateway. Okay, because this interface is the gateway, so you don't need a gateway. DHCP before false because I'm using a static. Optional true. And also you can add name servers, addresses, the IPv4 addresses like this, or any that you have. Okay, and finally, search is optional. If you don't have a domain or search, don't worry. I will use this teachemergency.com. Okay, this is optional. Search is optional. Don't worry if you don't have. Okay, on Ethernet 1, the local area network interface, LAN interface, and Ethernet 0, the WAN interface, the wide area network. Okay, the subnet of Ethernet 0 is completely different than the subnet of Ethernet 1. Please not configure IP addresses on the same subnet. Should be in a different subnet. So that's why I'm using different numbers. Escape key, column right and quit. W and Q. This. Enter. Okay, and apply sudo net plan apply to apply changes. Okay, very good, and verify with IP address. Now, Ethernet 0, configure it with IPv4 and IPv6. With Ethernet 1, okay, no carrier broadcast multicast. Okay, and connect the cable. And now repeat the command IP address. And once the interface is connected to another device like a PC, you will show the MAC address, the IPv4 address 172.16.101, and very nice. And also the auto configuration for an IPv6. And now disconnect the SSH connection and connect to Ethernet 1 to this IP address, but connect to that interface on this cable. Okay, close this. Okay. Okay, now I am connected. Turn off the Wi-Fi, the wireless. Okay, and use only Ethernet interface here on network and internet settings, Ethernet adapter options. Okay, I will use only this interface Ethernet and set an IPv4 to an IPv4 on the subnet. Okay, I will use 172.16.100, for example, 10. Subnet mask 255, 255, 255, 0 is 24, prefix 24, and the default gateway, the interface on the Raspberry Pi on the router 172.16.101. Also, you can set the DNS servers. The DNS servers, in my case, is this. Use any that you want, Google servers or any. Okay. Okay, very nice. Verify with command prompt. And ping. First, verify your IP configuration, ipconfig. Now, this is my Ethernet adapter. IPv4 and subnet mask default gateway, and ping to the default gateway. Success. and try to ping, for example, a DNS server of Google. Okay, this will fail. Okay, or try Control C to stop this and try to ping Google. Okay, so ping to internet will not work. Only will work the ping to the default gateway because you need to configure the routing and NAT on the Raspberry Pi to convert this device to a router. Okay, so access using PuTTY, but now using the default gateway because I'm connected on the new subnet. One 172.16.101 port 22. Yes. Use the username Ubuntu, the password. Okay, and now configure the routing. Okay, and configure the routing on the following file. Use sudo for root privileges being for the editor. Let's see, sysctl tab.conf. Okay, this file. Enter. Okay, column set number to show the number of lines, and here on line 28 modify. Now here on line 28, I key to insert. Now on insert mode, uncomment this net IPv4 IP4 war equal 1. Okay, this is the forwarding for IPv4. So this device will be a router. Okay, escape key, column, right and quit, W and Q, enter, and verify sudo sysctl -p to verify. And now is net IPv4 IP forward is 1. Very nice. And now you need to configure network address translation, NAT, and do this using iptables. Iptables is installed by default on Ubuntu server, so you don't need to install iptables, only configure sudo iptables. Use NAT, the type is NAT, network address translation. Okay, now the action is post routing. Okay, case sensitive. The output interface is your interface connected to WAN, the interface connected to internet, Ethernet 0. Ethernet 0. Okay. And the internal, the source, the internal network, the new subnet is the subnet, the new subnet is 172.16.100.0.24. Okay, this is the subnet. It's not a IP host. This is the network address. That's why I'm using 0.24. Okay, all the internal network. And the action is masquerade. Okay, masquerade. All IP addresses of the internal subnet of the internal network will be translated using the IP address of the Ethernet 0 interface, the interface connected to Internet network address translation. Okay, enter. Okay, but you will lose this configuration of IP tables. You will lose this IP tables configuration on the next boot. Okay, this configuration will be erased. So you need to install iptables persistent. Sudo ipt install iptables dash persistent. Enter. Yes. Save current IPv4 rules. Yes. Save current IPv6 rules. Yes. Okay, and use sudo iptables dash save and save the iptables configuration on the following file. Okay, on the following file, let's see, iptables rules.before. Enter. And permission is denied, so you need to access the root user sudo super user dash enter. Now you are the root user and use iptables save. Let's see, iptables rules.before and enter. And very good. Exit from the root user. And you can verify using, for example, Vim, sudo Vim. Let's see, iptables rules.before. Enter. Now you can see post routing, the source, the new subnet, the output interface, the interface connected to internet, NAT, masquerade. Very good. This is the NAT configuration. Escape key, column Q to quit. And use sudo iptables type NAT and L for list, L uppercase. And now you can see the configuration. On post routing, the policy post routing. Okay, masquerade, all protocols, the source is the new subnet and destination anywhere, internet. And now on the client, try to ping again Google DNS server, success. Ping to Google, ping google.com, success. Use web browser to navigate internet. Okay, very nice, it's working very well. And finally configure the DHCP server to list IP addresses to the clients and install sudo ipt install ISC DHCP server. Enter. Okay, is install. Yes. Okay, and now list the following files. Sudo list the following directory. Let's see, DHCP. Enter. Now you have a dhcpd.conf for IPv4 and dhcpd6.conf for IPv6. Modify this file, dhcpd.conf. Use sudo for root privileges, vim the editor. Let's see, dhcpd.conf. Enter. Column set number to view the number of lines. These are global configurations. For example, the default list time 600 seconds, 10 minutes, the domain global configurations. And look at this. And now you can see on line 24, authoritative is commented. If this DHCP server is the official DHCP server for the local network, the authoritative directive should be uncommented. So this is the case, uncommented. I key to insert. Now you are on insert mode and modify. And uncomment the authoritative directive. Okay, to force this server is the official DHCP server on the local network. And go to line 53 and uncomment from 53 to 62. Okay, from 53 to 62. Slightly different configuration for an internal subnet. This is an example and only modify this. Okay, and modify the subnet, change this number to the network address or 172.16.100.0, net mask 255.255.255.0 because it's 24. 0, the range of addresses to list, for example, 172.16.100 from 20 to 172.16.100 to, for example, 40. Okay, from 20 to 40. Okay, the DNS servers, I will use the IPv4 DNS servers. Okay, 190, 113, 220, 54, comma, add another server, for example. Okay, you can use Google servers or any DNS servers. I'm using these two. Okay, and now the domain name. Don't worry if you don't have a domain name. You can comment this or remove the line. But I will use the following: teachemergente.com. The subnet mask 255.255.255.0, 24 prefix. The router, the default gateway is 172.16.101, the first IP. And the broadcast address, if you don't know what is the broadcast address, comment this or remove the line. But I know the broadcast address in my case is 172.16.100.255. The default list time 10 minutes and maximum list time 7,200 seconds, 2 hours. Okay, and very good. This is enough. Escape key, column WQ, write and quit, then enter. And restart the service sudo for root privileges systemctl restart ISC DHCP server. Enter. Very good. And you can view the status sudo systemctl status ISC DHCP server active and running. Very good. Okay, and don't worry about this. On the client, go to the Ethernet configuration and automatically DNS automatically. Okay. On command prompt, verify with ipconfig. On Ethernet, you have the domain teachemergente.com, IPv4 address 72.16.120, the first IP in the range, subnet mask and default gateway. Very good. Or use more information /all. And now you can see the IPv4 subnet mask. Okay, 10 minutes of, from 32 minutes to 42 minutes, 600 seconds. Default gateway, DHCP server. So the router is the DHCP server and DNS servers. And verify ping to google.com. Very nice. Ping to DNS server of Google. Navigate to internet. Okay, it's working. Very nice. Thank you very much.